Yes, we're live. Okay. So, hello TYF readers. Today we're bringing to you the first installment of our TYF Awards Chatter podcast. Award season 2016 has officially begun, and for the first time in a few years, everything's to be in limbo and not boring. Most of the critic circles have spoken, and the National Board of Review has named Mad Max Fury Road its best film of the year. You can check out my coverage of the Screen Actors Guild nominations from yesterday at theyoungfolks.com. Today we're talking the 73rd Golden Globe nominations that were released this morning. I have with me co-founder and editor-in-chief Gabby, along with my fellow writers Ryan and Matthew. For film, Carol leads the pack with The Revenant. Steve Jobs and The Big Short also show strong numbers. Mark Ruffalo was nominated for Infinitely Polar Bear and not Spotlight. And in TV news, online series shined, and the CW got more nominations than it ever has before, and I personally couldn't be happier. So, to start it off, what were some of the biggest surprises to you guys for who was left off, who got on, surprisingly? Chat. Anyone? Gabby?
My biggest surprise was probably, I kind of knew Stars was lobbying Outlander really hard, but I didn't really think they were going to get the nomination. And I'm a huge Outlander fangirl, so I was pleasantly surprised by it nabbing 3 major nominations.
Yeah.
And I generally just really like the mix and diversity of the TV nominations. I think they really kind of spread the love, and I mean, we got Aziz Ansari, and then we got Gina Rodriguez again for Jane the Virgin, and I mean, their TV drama category is totally different than what I would have expected. So I'm happy with those. The movies were a little bit more by the books for me, so I mean, I was expecting kind of ridiculous stuff like The Martian and Joy to be nominated for comedy, but other than that, yeah, I think those were pretty much what I expected.
Yeah, I was surprised not so much to see Outlander and the leading girl get it, but I forget his character's name, but the supporting actor, Tobias something,
Menzies.
yeah, him getting the nomination was what kind of really surprised me. Because you would have thought it would be the lead guy instead.
Yeah, Sam Neill, a lot of fans were upset by that, but I mean, Tobias Menzies plays 2 different roles in the show, so I didn't take that into consideration, especially since they're such different characters.
Yeah, for sure. I think for me, my most surprising was Rachel Bloom for Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. And a pleasant surprise, because I think she's great and I really love watching her, but I didn't expect, I thought the Golden Globes would be snobby enough to not want to give 2 awards to the CW, but I was really surprised. And also Casual being nominated surprised me a lot in the TV area, just because it was such a small show. And I thought, for some reason, maybe it's because all the critics have been loving it, but if a small show like that was going to be nominated, I thought it was going to be Catastrophe. But I was, pleasantly surprised. For movies, I'm trying to think. Alicia Vikander getting 2 was pretty surprising. I think she deserves it much more for Ex Machina than the Danish Girl, which deserves nothing. But other than that, I don't know. How about you?
Yeah, I was excited that she got for Ex Machina, and yeah, that I guess the Danish Girl. I just saw it, so I really liked her in it. I didn't hate it so much, but
yeah. I just wrote my review today, and I was as I was writing, I was I hate this. I was I don't even like talking about it. It's making me so mad. But I can see why people would like it, because it's beautiful to watch. But oh my god, they needed to stop crying for 2 seconds. But Ryan, Matthew, what about you guys? What were some of your surprises?
Oh man, I was surprised that it seemed that the entire cast of Spotlight canceled each other out in the acting awards, and there's no nominations for Spotlight. Ruffalo got one for Infinitely Polar Bear and not for playing Mike Resendez in Spotlight, which is a surprise to me because he was amazing in that movie.
Yeah. You know what's more surprising is that he got it for comedy for Infinitely Polar Bear, which he was playing a dad dealing with being, I think it was like bipolar, and watching his kids and being a really bad dad or irresponsible dad for a while. And I was like, how is this funny? Like, you know, we talk about category fraud with like The Martian, but at least I was laughing during The Martian. Like during the Infinitely Polar Bear, I was just like, this is a really sad film, but like has an uplifting ending. But I would never say that it was like a knee slapper.
There's a lot of weird stuff every year with the musical and comedy where there's always a movie in there that doesn't really fit. A couple of years ago was My Weekend with Maryland, I think it was called.
Yeah.
And then a couple of years later, it was Nebraska was in that. And I thought that would be the how Love and Mercy would get in the film awards, and that only got Paul Dano in Best Supporting Actor.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, I'm not that surprised that Love and Mercy ended up not getting anything. It seemed more like a critic's favorite than an awards like pundit and voter favorite, because it did come out during the summer, where most awards movies go to die. So.
It did get song, which is a good thing because the rest of the song category is just awful. It's really, really bad.
Yeah.
I really hope
the fact that Sam Smith's song is on there makes me want to like stick a pencil in my ear. That
Which one?
Listening to that song is like drinking a bottle of NyQuil.
Wait, the Sam Smith one?
Yeah, for Spectre.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
God.
But See You Again is much.
It set the tone for the whole movie too. So like, it's like falling asleep in my chair. But yeah, no, the songs like somebody pointed out online, like they never really carry over to the Oscars. Like there's usually like vastly different picks. So I think last year the only one that got nominations for both the Golden Globes and for the Oscars was Glory.
Mm-hmm.
And that worked out well. So like, hopefully they'll just take the Love and Mercy one, and everything will be good.
I really hope See You Again doesn't get nominated. Yeah, it was a big hit, but it was a really bad song. And the other one is Love Me Like You Do, and I'm like, hey, you know, it'll be good, you know. Ellie Goulding will be up for Golden Globe. Then I remembered she didn't write that song, so.
That's right. Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah.
I don't even know what some of these ones go to. Like, I've heard Love Me Like You Do, but I'm like, that was in a movie? Like,
apparently
was that like the
Toflo
50
wrote
Shades?
it.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. So she might win a Golden Globe.
Matthew, what about you?
I would say the big surprise for me, as far as being a positive surprise, would be Paul Dano, because I wasn't expecting him to get nominated at all, especially because supporting this year seems to be, it changes from critics organization to awards. Like Paul Dano wasn't on the SAG Awards, but Jacob Tremblay was on there. He's not on. I'm also very surprised to see Michael Shannon keeping within the awards circuit.
You know, that's a genuine surprise too, because that made nothing, and like few people saw it. But it's a great movie, and he deserves it. So I hope this carries through. But I forgot about that one. That was really surprising to me both days.
My other big positive surprise was seeing Lily Tomlin nominated for Best Supporting Actress. Because I've been kind of pulling for her to finish off her EGOT with this movie, and hopefully even if she doesn't win the Golden Globe for Grandma, this nomination carries over, and hopefully, you know, she pulls a surprise dark horse and finally gets her EGOT.
Be awesome, because isn't she up for Grandma too?
Mm-hmm. That's what
I think. I mean, looking at these five, I would say Lily Tomlin should win, but I'm worried that Jennifer Lawrence Weinstein juggernaut is going to start plowing through everything.
Weinstein.
You know what? If we're going by like genuine, like it's a comedy, Melissa McCarthy would kind of be my pick. So I'm kind of sick of like half-assed comedies winning. You know, like I want somebody who really makes me laugh, and I'm going to get to that in the nomination that made me the angriest in a few minutes. But like if you look at like the comedy actors that were nominated, it's like okay. And for this, so like while I would love Lily Tomlin to get her EGOT, I also haven't seen Grandma yet. But out of the ones I have seen, I would really love Melissa McCarthy because she made me laugh.
Well, I think Spy in general. I'm glad that it's in motion picture comedy because
It's a
out of the
comedy.
5 movies that are nominated out of the 5 movies that are nominated for Motion Picture Comedy, 5 was the one I laughed the most at.
Yeah.
It was a lot smarter than I thought it was going to be. It was a lot. They stuck to the spy genre, which I wasn't expecting, and they figured out a way to utilize Melissa McCarthy, where you don't make her the butt of the joke all the time, and you allow her to be the one that you root for. And they also established, which I really like, that she's the most badass of everyone in the movie. And Allison Janney's character, like, I was going to put this up on YouTube because I couldn't believe it myself.
Yeah, I just watched that like a week ago, and it's hilarious. Like, I mean, yeah, that's the movie that made me laugh the most. I was kind of surprised that Amy Schumer didn't get nominated, though.
She did.
She did for...
In Best Motion Picture, Best Actress in a Comedy for Trainwreck.
Oh, she did. I didn't see that. You're right.
Are you like super happy now?
Yeah, I'm cool now.
Yeah, I was excited. I don't always love Amy Schumer, surprisingly, but I am glad that she got nominated again, strictly for the fact that she's in a comedy and she was very funny in it. So again, like the Jennifer Lawrence Harvey Weinstein thing does get like a little irksome just because we've heard the movie isn't very good. And it's not even her best from what people have said, but again, I haven't seen it, so I can't be that much of a judge. But yeah, I was surprised that comedies nominated comedies, I guess.
Is Joy by Weinstein, though?
I would think so, because Silver Linings Playbook was Weinstein bad.
Yeah, but then American Hustle was Sony.
Huh.
I'm gonna look this up, but yeah,
we'll make a correction later.
Wikipedia says 20th Century Fox, but that's Wikipedia.
IMDb says Fox and Annapurna Pictures, which is what's her name's company.
I don't know.
Yeah, so it's not a Weinstein movie. So that
why
is
did we
just
assume it was?
Because it got nominated when it wasn't good, kind of like.
And that's usually what happens with Weinstein movies.
That is very true.
That's not as atrocious as when like Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close was nominated for Best Picture.
Oh god.
It's like Woman of Gold being nominated yesterday. Like
that is Weinstein.
It's Helen Mirren getting nominated for a shit movie that nobody liked, but they were the first ones who sent out screeners this year, so everybody remembers it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think I'm gonna push us forward to my next little subject for happiest nomination and the one that made us the most annoyed. So somebody else should start us off because I talk too much. Ryan, go.
Go look at my list.
Oh, I'm on. The one that may be the happiest.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna go with Well, one of them would be Paul Dano for Best Supporting because as much as I loved Love and Mercy, because it was released in the summer, which made sense because it's about the Beach Boys. You expect a Beach Boy to be released in the summer. I kind of had a feeling that we'd kind of forgotten come award season, and I'm very happy that they remembered this movie and they remembered Paul Dano. I'm not too thrilled with him being in Best Supporting Actor because it's hard to figure out whether or not Cusack or Dano is the main person in the film, but I'm happy he's there. I'm also really, really, really happy that Mad Max Fury Road is up for Best Drama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Best Director.
I know. These awards kind of have a bit of a problem nominating genre movies, and I'm happy that they've remembered this one in particular because it was such a good movie.
Well, I think it's because it literally lit the critics' world on fire.
But
like everybody was like, for years people are complaining about genre films being the same old thing, and like I agree to an extent, but I'm also a fangirl for most things Marvel, so like whatever. But I think it was the fact that they saw something new, done so well with a certain level of like quality and artistry that all of a sudden they're like, this is why we go to the movies. This is why it's so much fun. So, yeah, I'm not surprised. I think Mad Max could be a serious contender, which I wouldn't say about most genre films.
Yeah, as much as I'm pulling for Spotlight and everything because I loved Spotlight, part of me kind of wants Mad Max Fury Road to be the big upset in drama, even though there's an entire possibility that's not going to happen.
Who knows? People might be
fingers crossed.
Yeah. Go ahead,
I
Matthew.
kind of
Sorry.
wish they would. No, that's all right. I think I'm fine with Spotlight winning, but I think George Miller should win director because I think Spotlight it's a screenwriter's movie, it's an actor's movie. George Miller, what he was able to do with Mad Max for his age, for being out of the game for so long, I think aside from the Happy Feet movies, he hasn't done live action in a while. And so to the question at hand, the one that made me the happiest was, if I can look at my list here, I would say Bryan Cranston and Trumbo.
Really?
Really?
I've been waiting for a while for Bryan Cranston to get a role like this in a movie where he's had it on TV, but I feel like in a lot of his movies he's always in the background. But I'm just happy this movie got recognized because I don't think it's a great movie. It's a good movie, but I think his performance is so good, especially just the fact that he's recognized because I don't think there's any doubt that DiCaprio's going to run the gauntlet for all these awards. I'm okay with that. I haven't seen the Revenant yet, so I can't say. But just from what I'm hearing, from what
I have, yeah.
And I'm not okay with the idea that he's going to be winning for this one. But continue.
Well, I think it's going to be like Pacino, where they give it to him for the wrong role. Like he should have won for The Aviator, but he didn't.
Yeah.
So it's like we better do it now. But no disrespect to the other nominees. Best Actor this year, it's kind of a weak field compared to Actress. Like this is the first year in a long time where I think the female nominees, those categories are stronger than the men. Because I know a lot of people are disappointed that Johnny Depp's not in the Best Actor discussion, at least for this. But the question is, who do you knock out?
Yeah.
I know the Danish Girl. I didn't like it, but I thought Redmayne was great. But as long as he doesn't win, I'll be okay.
Now, a common knock against Trumbo is that it kind of feels like Bryan Cranston's playing a role that Philip Seymour Hoffman could have played. Do you kind of feel the same way about that?
As far as him playing, if Philip Seymour Hoffman was going to play that role, is that what you mean?
Yeah, that's a common, like, the only knock I've heard about his performance is that it kind of feels like a role, like the Dalton Trumbo role in the film, kind of feels like a Philip Seymour Hoffman type role. And
That's
that
a hard legacy to live up to, then.
I would say that about the Louis C.K. character feels like Philip Seymour Hoffman, the way he performs in that. And then as far as are we moving on to the one that made us the angriest, or does
Yes.
Well, I want to say what made me happy.
I was gonna say let's get all the positivity out first.
Okay.
No, the one that made me happy was Narcos. Because I really liked that show. I kind of binge watched the first 10 episodes, and I think there wasn't anything quite like it out this year. And I was really surprised that they kind of gave it some love. And while I don't think it's the best, I definitely like that it got some attention.
Yeah, for sure. I just binge watched that this weekend. So I was ready. I like literally just spent the entire weekend watching that show. And when it ended, I was like, what am I going to do now? So I loved that. I think my happiest one, it was one that was kind of obvious, but Rami Malek getting nominated for Mr. Robot was so great to see because I genuinely think him and Rachel Bloom, and for like similar reasons, it's because both characters that we've seen before, but completely different at the same time. Like it's architects in our head, and I feel like both Rachel Bloom and both Rami Malek are showing us characters we've never seen before on television. I think they're two of the most interesting performances on television this year. So while, again, I kind of expected Rami Malek to get nominated along with Mr. Robot, the series, today at least, I was so pleased because that's my favorite show of the year. So I'm super excited about that. For movies, I think for movies, it was probably George Miller, oddly enough, just because I felt like maybe they would like do better together, like they would do the movie or the director. I didn't think they would do both because the director's race kept pulling from all walks of life right now, I feel like. So the fact that he got in there made me really happy. I'm gonna segue really quick to things that pissed me off. because Al Pacino getting a nomination for Jenny Collins or whatever, and Mark Ruffalo getting one for Infinitely Polar Bear, and Bill Hader being left out for Trainwreck made me so annoyed. And like, sure, maybe it was unlikely, but he was like so genuinely like heartwarming in Trainwreck, and he's an SNL alumni, so you'd think they would have given him the love, but that one really, I don't know. And I had seen like predictors like saying that he's definitely gonna get nominated, so I got my hopes up, and then he got nothing, and like stupid performances snuck in, and it like really upset me. I don't know why, but I thought it would have been so nice to kind of, nominate a low key, really natural performance like that, but whatever. What about you guys? Angriest? Or the ones that annoyed you, irked you? It doesn't have to be angry. I just get angry at everything.
There are a few for me in the TV category. The first one is that I'm guessing Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt got caught between eligibility periods because it's completely absent from this year and last year. I don't know what happened there. It was one of the best comedies of the year, and its absence here is incredibly surprising. The other one is, and this has been a constant snub with the television awards as well, is Kristen Schaal in The Last Man on Earth. She is basically the best part of that show, and she was not nominated for the Emmys either, and it's just unfortunate that she isn't getting recognized for being so good, so consistently good in such an inconsistent show. And, but what do you figure,
Yeah.
I also would have loved to have seen, his name is blanking me now, Will Forte getting nominated for Last Man on Earth as well, and he's not here either.
He got nominated for an Emmy, though, so I feel like maybe it was the Golden Globes kind of being like, let's award some new people like they tend to. Which is why, by the way, another disappointment, I totally thought Constance Wu from Fresh Off the Boat was going to make it just because they've been having such a great season. So I was surprised about that one, too, and kind of annoyed. Because I thought it would have been a really nice chance to kind of award that show for being so good. Did anything annoy you, Matthew, about the nominations?
I hate to be that guy, but I have a couple. First one is Good Dinosaur being nominated for Best Animated Film.
Right?
I looked over that.
Because I understand that you need a set amount of nominees, but to put that in the same breath as Inside Out, the Peanuts movie, or Shaun the Sheep, it just kind of, it sticks out, and B, for Pixar, because Pixar, they've done their whole philosophy pretty much is the two mismatched people going on some kind of a journey. And I felt like there's nothing to it. The main character's kind of annoying. It looks pretty, but there's just no emotion to it, at least for me.
Yeah. And they could have added when Marnie was there, and it would have been just the same quality. So that's kind of, and like, again, to kind of, because I think it's technically Studio Ghibli's like last or something, or it was kind of put out through them, so they also could have been honoring the Ghibli name, I guess. But so yeah, I'm surprised a Good Dinosaur got in there, because I thought most people, and it didn't make much money. So the awards do pay attention to that, so I was surprised.
Well, I think that's why Steve Jobs didn't get nominated for Best Picture, because they looked at the box office.
Probably.
Speaking of movies that got shut out altogether, I'm a little disappointed Sicario didn't get any love.
Me too.
Specifically Benicio del Toro. I thought it was the best work he's done in I don't know how long.
Yeah, I was surprised. He was the only one who I thought for sure had a shoe-in possibility, and that entire movie was looked over, and it's one of the best of the year.
But the big snub for me is Jacob Tremblay for Room. I think it's a travesty he's not on here. For a kid that young to have that much depth, that much range, I think if he was nominated, he blows everyone else away. Like, I think he should win if he was nominated. So that, like, I don't like to use the word snub unless the person has a legitimate chance of winning, or a justifiable reason they should win. So for that reason, I think he should be on here.
You know, it's funny you say that because I agree, and I just didn't even think to mention it because I was so happy with his SAG nomination yesterday because it surprised me so much. Well, but it's true that this year, for the people nominated or the people who have a possibility of being nominated for Best Actor is really weak, and it's the year that they're totally pushing the younger actors to the supporting categories. But if they were including Jacob Tremblay in the leading actor, if they were including Abraham Atta from Beast of No Nation, this could be a super interesting and very talented leading category, but it's just that they're totally being pushed aside in favor of like the longevity in a business or like the super star-studded names like Will Smith and Johnny Depp and Matt Damon. And I think this is the year where, you know, they passed over so many interesting roles last year when there were so many of them, and now they've got a narrow playing field, and they could have made it so much more interesting if they just hadn't been, you know, kind of typical Hollywood in how they vote and given this kid kind of, you know, a chance at an award. And I agree. He's a snub to me too. I don't think I've seen a performance this year that moved me as much as his did.
I wonder if the Oscars are going to give him any love, because I know the Oscars really love to recognize younger actors, and they've nominated people that, you know, are rather young in the past, and hopefully they remember him and make up for this.
He has no chance at the Oscars.
Yeah, they like awarding younger actresses.
Okay, Tatum O'Neal, Anna Paquin. Those are the only two winners I can think of that were underneath the age of like 16. And then Quivazine Wallace got nominated, but everyone knew Jennifer Lawrence was going to win. So it's like, we'll put her in there, but she's not going to win.
Saoirse Ronan was nominated when she was really young for Atonement.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, but that's the thing too. That's a trend. Is most of the time when they're younger actresses. That they love to award actors for experience, but they'll award younger actresses for being like that bright new thing, you know, that happens in Hollywood. So I still don't think Jacob Tremblay would have a possibility either, just because it's kind of the way Hollywood rolls. But no, that's true. I forgot about Saoirse Ronan. She's a star. She should be nominated for everything.
Yeah.
But Gabby, disappointments?
Nothing like really made me that disappointed because I don't take the Golden Globes super seriously.
As you shouldn't.
I don't. I was just like looking at it casually. But Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, I was surprised they didn't, you know, honor her, and especially Ellie Kemper because she's brilliant on that show. And for movies, I agree with Jacob Tremblay, and I had one else in my head, but I forgot, so obviously it wasn't that important. But yeah, I mean, I know they favor star power over. I mean, if this is party they want cool people there.
Which some article pointed out, it might have been Entertainment Weekly, that the idea of Amy Schumer, Melissa McCarthy, and Jennifer Lawrence all getting like buzzed at the Golden Globes and possibly one of them winning is going to provide for like some great entertainment. So at least you can see like how the Golden Globes think. Like there is definitely a part of them like, this is going to be hilarious. Like people are going to actually watch.
I also think they're also very careful about who they nominate. Like, if you look at last year, there was a big controversy that all the nominees are white, so there was this big... That's why, I don't want to turn this into a conspiracy, but I think that's why Will Smith's on here. Because I heard the movie is just kind of okay.
But so was Joy. I don't know, I think if it was a conspiracy, I think they would have, you know, nominated Benicio del Toro, too. It's still, you know, very, very white. Straight Outta Compton would have gotten a nomination.
Where's that, by the way?
I have no idea. Like, you would think that would get nominated.
I remember what made me mad. The Martian, because I do not like that movie. I just don't.
What?
I thought it was crazy.
Here's my thing about
No, you're not alone, Matthew. I do not like The Martian. Sorry.
You know what? I didn't love The Martian either. I thought it was entertaining. But what I've been telling
Thank
people
you.
is, like, awarding Matt Damon for this is the equivalent of giving Robert Downey Jr. an award for Iron Man. It's the same performance. It's just that one has Marvel stamped on it, and one is called The Martian, and it was, like, a big success as a book, and, like, there was an all-star cast. But, like, when you really go down to it, it's a guy who's left alone to figure his way out of a situation, and they're both smartasses.
Well,
So,
that
like,
right there is the problem I had with the movie. I never felt like he was in any danger because he solves everything like that.
yeah. And it was also, like, a feel-good movie, and it's PG-13. Of course they're not going to kill him. They can't make that much money if all of them die. Like,
It's
but, I don't know.
it's a feel-good movie, too, for Ridley Scott because they're like, hey, you made a decent movie again for the first time in God knows how long.
Yeah. I don't want him to win anything, though, because I still hold a grudge against him from Gods and Kings. It's like, what nonsense. Go away. Like, I can't
I
handle
just
him.
forgot about that, and you reminded me.
I'm still mad about the
You're welcome. Speaking of, to, like, kind of, I guess, point us towards the end of this, do we think there's going to be much carryover with the directors?
Let me look at the list.
Yeah, I think it's going to be the exact same list.
That would
I think
be
it's gonna
super interesting to me.
I think it's going to be the exact same list with the exception of possibly one of these being taken out for Quentin Tarantino.
Ugh, why? Like,
That's also,
I don't
Because
think
he's
so.
Quentin Tarantino.
no, but
I
you brought up something that I just thought of. Is it just a given that they're going to nominate Tarantino every time he writes a screenplay?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Fine.
exactly what's going to happen.
I
That's
just
why I
like
don't think he's
rather.
going to get nominated for director, because they always give him the screenplay.
True.
I hadn't put that together. But I mean, as long David O. Russell wasn't nominated today, right?
No.
No.
Okay, as long as he doesn't slip in, or as long as Tom freaking Hooper doesn't weasel his way in there for the Danish girl
Say that name.
and destroy everything again, I will be so happy. Like, that's the only thing I'm, like, really hoping for. Don't let Russell in. Don't let Hooper in. Like, keep this, like, an interesting race at the very least.
Well,
Like, not
I
like
would-
filmmaking 101.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I can't
I
stand
would,
that.
I would take out Ridley Scott and swap him in for Dennis Villeneuve for Sicario. I think that would be a more interesting five.
Yeah.
That would be ideal, but I just think that they're not going to miss a chance to, like, give The Martian a shit ton of awards that it won't win.
Yeah.
Any nominations that it won't win.
Yeah, I can see them again because it was a big blockbuster success too. You know, like it was a blockbuster success with not being a blockbuster. Yasser's gonna love that, and it means most voters have seen it. So unfortunately, although I think Sicario got a lot of screeners sent out because I got one, so I'm assuming most other people did too.
Speaking of Tom Hooper and Eddie Redmayne in Space, I wish they nominated for pure entertainment value. I would have nominated Eddie Redmayne in Jupiter Ascending before I nominated him for The Danish Girl because he made that movie.
No.
At least he committed to Jupiter Ascending.
That was like watching Jeremy Irons in Dungeons and Dragons. The whole movie.
I don't know. Yeah, he went full Nick Cage, but I don't know. I don't like that the Danish Girl is getting awards. Because it's kind of like, oh, look, Hollywood's progressive. Like, that's just so, like, insulting. And, like, if you're going to give an award to be progressive, give it to one of the girls in Tangerine. You know, the Danish Girl is just, like, smarmy and, like
It's Oscar bait.
self-congratulatory. Oh, it is so, I hated that movie so much. And I love everybody involved except for Tom Hooper. But, like, yeah.
Do you like any of Tom Hooper's movies?
No.
Not for
Not
him.
at all.
I'm still upset over the King's Speech beating The Social Network. Like, it's a running kind of joke with my friends and I that we just, no.
Yeah,
Nothing.
no. I don't know.
I
I don't know. I would never walk away from a Tom Hooper movie and be like, that was well directed. It's more like, I was like, oh, those two people were great. Oh, the songs were nice. Oh, Alicia Vikander looks pretty when she cries. But, like, that's about it. It's never like, that's a genius filmmaker. Can't wait to see what he does next.
I think Les Miserables succeeds in spite of his direction.
There.
Hugh Jackman's like,
Snap.
stand aside, I'm taking this movie over.
Yeah. No, I agree. Any last thoughts about the nominations? Any big predictions of what's gonna sweep? Can we all hope for Carol?
I hope so. I haven't seen it yet, so I'm rooting for it anyway, though. Just
It's
out of.
Of the
Gorgeous.
of the 5 dramas that are nominated, I would pick Mad Max.
I'm probably gonna go for Spotlight.
For like what we think or what we want, because I want Carol.
What,
But I don't
a
think
bit
it's
of
gonna
both.
win.
No, I think Mad Max has no chance. I think it's just here because just to be nominated. It's one of those.
I don't know. We'll see. Everybody saw it, and everybody seemed to love it. And I think it has the highest rating of the year. Maybe aside from like Inside Out. It has like a 98, and probably like one website.
It has a 99.
Oh, well, I mean like in terms of like how many reviews it got too. So yeah, I don't know. I don't have any concrete predictions, and I think that's really nice for once. Like last year, we knew Julianne Moore was going to win since the second it debuted. So
Yeah.
like, at least this year, like we're like we have no idea what's going to happen.
I knew Eddie Redmayne was going to win the moment they showed the trailer.
Yeah, true.
I really don't
The
hope he
moment I
repeats.
saw Jake Gyllenhaal get snubbed, I'm like, he's going to win. I'm still, like, how you guys feel about The Social Network is how I felt about Gyllenhaal not being nominated for Nightcrawler.
Yeah, but at least Allison is surprising. But yeah, no. Any last thoughts before I kind of round this up?
Well, for me, I mean, only one of the dramas that are nominated, I haven't seen Carol. So, of the ones I would pick, I'd probably pick Spotlight. That's just personally my favorite of the bunch. But Mad Max is definitely the most unique viewing experience I've had all year, and it's kind of hard to disregard that. And I really hope I'm glad that it's kind of made a comeback award season-wise, and
Like,
it sails that to the Oscars.
as a final question that I'd like to pose, what movie or performance winning would make you the happiest?
Out of all of these,
Yeah, because for me it'd be if Brie Larson pulls off the upset for Room and beats Kate Blanchett and Mara.
yeah, you know what? Brie Larson winning would make me very happy. I think, you know what? Michael Shannon winning for 99 Homes. I'm going to say that one. If he manages to pull that off, I will be
Who do you,
so happy.
I think Stallone's going to win it of those 5.
Again, I have no guesses. And I am so
Like
happy.
we don't know. We have to wait.
Yeah, it's kind of fun when you don't really know. And you're just like, oh, okay, well. But I think for me, it'd just be Leonardo DiCaprio because I'm a hardcore Leo fan since, forever. And, yeah, I really want him to win this year. And not just because I think Revenant's his best performance. Not really, but I feel like he's overdue for an Oscar, so it's like a career award for me. Kind of like how Sandra Bullock won for The Blind Side, which I hate so much.
I know, and then she gave like a better performance 2 years later. And it's like, well,
Exactly.
lost that one.
Yeah.
I would be happiest if Brian Wilson won Best Original Song over the rest of the terrible category, because he does have the best song of the bunch. It sounds like a song that actual effort was put into, and it would be a really great thing for him to win this late in his career. And Charlie Puth wouldn't have a Golden Globe on his mantle.
Wait, I changed mine. Oscar Isaac winning.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Right, okay. Like, what you feel for Leonardo DiCaprio is what I feel for Oscar Isaac, a.k.a. why Evan was with me when I interviewed him. Like, so I was like, come with me so I don't jump the bar. But, like, yeah, no. So if he won, not just because he's like a terrific actor, and he deserves it. So, yeah, that's why.
I also want Gina Rodriguez to go for a twofer.
Yeah, that'd be awesome too. I love her.
It's well deserved, and I mean, it's hard to be angry if she won again.
I know. Like, it'd be really like of all celebrities to be annoyed that won. It's like try being annoyed at her.
Yeah.
Well,
but
how do you feel about DiCaprio and Isaac? I know DiCaprio is the favorite, but I would be so happy if either Cranston or Fassbender pulled this off. Like if Fassbender won for Steve Jobs.
I don't know.
That's like my second favorite. Like I would be okay, but I would still be upset, but I'd be okay if Fassbender won. Now if like Will Smith or whoever else is nominated, because I forgot,
Having
would be like, no.
Having seen Macbeth, I would have chosen that performance over Steve Jobs. So I kind of look at it as a double nomination.
I need to watch that tonight. But yeah, I feel like I'm preemptively agreeing. But I really liked Steve Jobs and I really liked Michael Fassbender's performance, so I'd be okay. But there's been no like real performance by an actor this year that is like up to be nominated. That's really been like blown me away. At least in the main categories. And even in The Revenant, I didn't really like any of the performances except from Domhnall Gleeson. So, like, it's like he doesn't have a shot in hell. But, or like, you know, I loved Andrew Garfield in 99 Homes, and that doesn't have a lot of performances that I would really celebrate. Well, yeah, but again, I don't think he really stands a chance. And if he did, he'd be in. So I'm saying is, like, out of all them, I guess I'd go Leonardo DiCaprio for the same reason. Even though I don't think it's close to his best.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
It's Leo.
I'm going to wrap this up really quick then. So if nobody else has anything else to say. But thanks for tuning in, everyone. And you should let us know your thoughts on the nominations and make sure to catch us throughout the rest of the fun, really aggravating sometimes award season ride. You can catch all of us at TYF Official on Twitter and Alice and AJ at Twitter. You guys want to say all your Twitter handles too? I'm just doing what I usually do.
Yeah, I'm Gabrielle Zell. GABRIELLE So long, sorry.
I am Ryan Gibbs 89, and I also run the TYF Official Twitter account. So you can also catch me there. Yay!
And I am M. Goodrow, that is MGOU Twitter.
Okay, awesome. Thank you guys for all tuning in and hopefully enjoying our podcast because we're super charming. And we will catch you next time. Bye.